What is going on, and welcome to another episode of Mockup Monday. I am your host, Al Smith, and today we're going to be exploring the product industry. All right, so before we jump into the episode, let's just go ahead and pull up the screen. As you can see, my client's name is Unkle Joe. So I want you to look at Unkle Joe's website, and as you can see, it's nice, it's polished, and it's clean. And so I want to show you this, and then we're going to backtrack and we're going to walk through all of the steps that I would have taken to get to this point. All right, so if I was talking to Unkle Joe, the first thing I would want to know is his story. And the reason why is because your story can be used in so many different ways. In his case, he has a product, so he can use his story as a press kit. He can use his story on his about page on his website. He can use his story even in his social media pages for his bio. And so your story can carry a lot of weight. It can have a lot of depth, and it can be used in a lot of different scenarios. And so these are the things I want to know. What is your story? The next thing I would want to know is, what is your why? So let's start off with the story. So Unkle Joe was a cook at a popular restaurant for nearly 2 decades. He always loved creating flavorful dishes and experimenting with different herbs and spices. All right, cool. So we got us a good story here. Now, what is Unkle Joe's why? Unkle Joe wants to contribute to the world of flavorful dishes. Okay, cool. So now we got us a good story. We got us a good why. So from his why, let's see if we can create a little slogan. And the slogan that we came up with is make the world flavorful. All right, great. So we have a story, we have a why, we even created a slogan. The next thing I would want to know is some of his goals. So Unkle Joe, what are some of your goals? Unkle Joe tells me that one of his goals is to get shelf placement in big box stores. So okay, cool. Now that is a big goal, and so I would tell him to have that goal, or to set that goal as a long-term goal. Let's not worry about doing that in the short term. Let's make that a long-term goal. And the reason being is because you're competing against thousands, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of products that may be similar or just like yours that are trying to get on these shelves. And you have gatekeepers at big box stores. So the first thing I would tell him to do is just let's put that as a long-term goal, and let's build around that long-term goal for your product, your website, your brand's identity, and everything else. Let's just try to set that as a long-term goal. And so we have your long-term goal, and that is a big long-term goal, and it is a great long-term goal. But now what I want to know is your targeting. So who are you trying to target? Unkle Joe says he's trying to target meat lovers as well as people on plant-based diets. So okay, perfect. Now we have 2 or 3 different people that we're trying to target. And so we can create the product around those people and around these things that you're trying to do, your long-term goal. All right, cool. So the next thing I would do is research. And as you can see, I actually did some research, because what I want to do is I want to know what the shelf is looking like at a big box store. And so I actually went to Walmart and took a picture to see just how the seasonings on this shelf are looking. Based around his long-term goal, what we're going to do is we're going to create a product that has shelf value in the beginning, and then by the time we're ready to approach the big box stores that we're trying to approach and try to get on their shelves, we're going to have, for one, we're going to have data, because that's how we're going to build a website. And for 2, we're going to have the production value, or the quality, the label quality of a big box store product. And so that would be the way that I would tell Unkle Joe to create and to go about it. All right, so as we hop over to the website, it's a couple of things that I want to point out. One is that the logo is just a simple text-based logo. Now it does have a little box behind it, but for the most part, it is just a simple text-based logo. And I always try to advise people that are creating their brand by themselves to create a text-based logo if they don't know how to create logos. Now, once you start generating income and your brand becomes known, you can go back in and redo your brand's identity, or have someone to create your logo professionally once you start to make money. And so that is one of the things I want to point out. Another thing is that the actual colors of this brand are just 2 colors. We're not going 3, 4, and 5 colors. It's just 2 colors, and it is the green and it is the white. Now, the products, on the other hand, they are in different colors, but as you can see, the logo is staying the same color across all of those colors. And so these wouldn't be the main colors. These would be like secondary colors. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't even consider these to be the colors that I would call the main colors for the brand's identity. These are just the product colors. And when you're selling products, you can do different colors if you want to for different products, if that makes sense. But for the most part, when you look at the actual brand's identity, it's only this green and this white. And so that is the thing to try to keep in mind. Use a max of 3 colors, and the reason being is because you want to create the consistency of your brand's identity. All right, so as we look at the homepage, the first thing that you will see is a video, and the video says cooking with Uncle Joe's seasoning. Now, this is based on Uncle Joe's long-term goal to be on the shelves in big box stores. All right, so if I was talking to Uncle Joe, like I say, I would tell Uncle Joe to don't worry about trying to be on or trying to be in big box stores in the beginning. Let's not worry about that. Let's start creating content around the seasonings and the things that you can do with them. Because for one, what we're trying to do is we're trying to gain the popularity and amongst people for the seasoning. And for 2, we want to show people that this seasoning can be used on different types of scenarios. And so let's go ahead and let's start creating the video content, and then let's start to try to advertise that video content. And so just say that you saw Uncle Joe's seasonings or Uncle Joe's video on social media. Okay, you click on that video, it might take you to a landing page, and we'll get to that a little bit later, but it may take you to a landing page, or it may take you directly to the homepage of his website. And so as soon as you get to the homepage from that video, you see cooking with Uncle Joe's seasoning. And so it's going to make sense. And then as you can see on the video, it has, or in the thumbnail, it has the different seasonings that he has. And so basically what we're doing is we're trying to entice the senses. All right, so let's go to the next section. And as you can see, we have a header and a description. And the header says, bring on the flavor. Great for baking or grilling your meats, and great for all veggies. Now, a section header in a paragraph is so important because it can explain what this section is about. And as you can see, like I say, it says bring on the flavor, great for baking or grilling your meats, and great for all veggies. So it's explaining what we're trying to do here. It's explaining what these products are for. And so that's important. Now let's go to the next section. Pick your lifestyle profile. So if I was talking to Uncle Joe, the thing that I would tell him with his targeting is to keep in mind that you have different people that are doing different things, that live different lifestyles. And so what works for one person is not going to work for another person. And so I would tell Uncle Joe, listen, separate your targeting for each customer profile. And so that's what we're doing here in this section. So let's read. Pick your lifestyle profile. Get free recipes that go great without seasonings in your lifestyle. So you have 3 different lifestyles because you're trying to target 3 different types of people. You have your meat lovers, then you have your vegetarians, and then you have your vegans. And so the meat lover and the vegan is not going to like the same thing. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that all of our marketing efforts go hand in hand with the customer that we're trying to target. So if this were a website, once they click on, just say meat lovers, for instance, these would be recipes that go great with the seasoning that are containing meat. If you clicked on for a vegetarian, it'll be no meats. It may be fish and other types of like veggies, and maybe some dairy, because vegetarians do drink milk and stuff like that. And so that would be that. But then for your vegans, it's all plant-based stuff. It's all plant-based things that go good with these seasonings. Point out something too that I forgot to mention. So on the product, as you can see, it has this like border going around it, and it has some words, and what it says is it's vegan. And the reason being is because you want to try to point out the highlights of your product. And so by putting it's vegan on there can potentially help you increase maybe 40 to 60% more in sales, because the vegan market is a big market. And so in trying to develop the product, you want to make sure that you're putting the highlights of your product where people can see it. So that's one thing that I forgot to mention. But like I say, with your lifestyle profiles, that would be important. Everything that you would see would be containing whatever their lifestyle is. If you're a meat lover, you got stuff for all types of recipes for that specific thing. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan, it will be the same thing. And so that is important. Now, another thing that I would do is I would try to get people involved. And so that's what we have in this next section. And let's read. Connect with us on social media. Tag us using Uncle Joe's seasoning on your favorite dish. Hashtag make the world flavorful. Now, as you can remember, the slogan was make the world flavorful. And so maybe we can use that as a hashtag on social media. And I would try to really own that hashtag. I would make sure that I have way more products than anybody else, or way more posts than anybody else on this particular hashtag. And so that is important. That is something to keep in mind. And you don't have to use your slogan as your profile. I mean, you don't have to use your slogan as your hashtag on social media, but in this case decided to use it as a hashtag on social media. And like I say, you don't have to do it, but I just decided to do it. It's a little long, but I just decided to do it because it's there. So I would try to get people involved with the social media, like tag us with your pictures of you using this actual product, Uncle Joe's seasoning. Try to get that exposure, try to help build up our exposure and our popularity amongst the community of people that love to cook with seasonings, and amongst the people that love to have flavorful dishes. So that's important. So let's go down to the last section, and it is watch Uncle Joe as he goes out and about cooking, sharing his recipes, and more. Now, as you can see, the thumbnails, they look cool, they look fun, it looks professional. You have one picture where Uncle Joe looks like he's getting ready to taste something, and then you have another picture where Uncle Joe is just like showing a dish of what he just finished preparing. And so if I was a person that was coming to the website, if I was a website visitor and I seen these, I would want to click on it to see just what does Uncle Joe have going on? What is Uncle Joe gonna show me that I haven't seen before? Or what type of adventure is Uncle Joe gonna take me on? I would click on this video, look at this video, and 9 times out of 10 be entertained by the video. And from there, I might even want to buy his seasoning. And so as we go back up to the top, we can see he's getting you with the videos. That's the first thing that he's doing. And then as we go to the bottom, you can see that he's finishing it off with videos as well. And so basically, like I say, the main thing that I would tell Uncle Joe to do is create the video content. Let's create as much video content as we can, center around you using these spices or your seasonings on these different types of foods. And the reason being is because, for one, we're trying to entice people to buy. For two, we're trying to show people that you can use these seasonings in different scenarios. And because you're the new kid on the block, you're a new brand, no one knows about you, it's going to be important that you have as many details or as many examples of how to use your product as possible. Because it's one thing that you have to remember. Some of these other companies that are already in existence are already doing something similar to this, or they may be doing the same thing, but we have to make it fun for your brand, or he has to make it fun for his brand. And so the thing I would tell him is, hey, listen, don't worry about how many other people are out there. Don't worry about that long-term goal with trying to be on the shelves at big box stores. Let's not worry about that. Let's create the content. Let's get up the data, and then let's approach these stores to become partners with them to be able to be on the shelves in their stores. Then we will go from there. It's like creating the opportunity for yourself in the beginning to then enhance the opportunity that you would be able to get is important. These are things to just keep in mind. I am going to tell you to build up your own brand. Don't try to go for the big goal or the big fish yet. Build up your own brand. Get these stats up under your belt, and then go for the big goal, which would be, like I say, getting on the shelves of big box stores. Now, here's the bonus. If I was telling Uncle Joe how to position himself with this product, I would tell Uncle Joe, listen, because you are trying to target 3 different types of people, for all of your social media efforts, create 3 different pages. One for meat lovers, one for vegetarians, and one for vegans. The reason being is because the meat lover is not gonna want to see all of these salads and all of that, because they love meat. The vegetarian is not gonna want to see all of this here meat, because they're not meat lovers. And sometimes people that are vegetarians or vegans, sometimes people are just getting on their journey. And so to help keep them on their journey, what you want to do is you want to separate it. You don't want to give them anything that's going to entice them to go back to the lifestyle that they're trying to break away from. So you want to help them. You want to guide them. And if you can guide them, then you will be better off, because now you're showing them how to do something, which builds up trust. And if the product is good, now you've just gained a customer. And so that would be the thing that I would try to tell Uncle Joe. And that would be the thing that I would try to tell you as well. If you're creating a product and you're trying to market to different types of people, make sure that your marketing efforts are going towards those different types of people. Don't try to do a one size fits all when it comes down to your marketing efforts. And when it comes down to your advertising efforts, do the same thing. And let me break down what the marketing and what the advertising efforts would be. So the marketing efforts would be, like I say, him doing the videos about how to use the product, him shooting the videos about how to use this product, or him shooting these videos talking about recipes and things like that. That is the marketing efforts. I would tell him to repurpose those marketing efforts, or I would tell him to repurpose those videos and use them for your advertising. And so if it was me, I would say, hey, Uncle Joe, create a video, for an example, where you're using this seasoning, your chicken seasoning, on your chicken, and show how good it looks afterwards. Use that as an advertisement to try to advertise to the meat lovers, right? The next thing would be, hey, look at your veggie seasoning that you have. Use that on a salad, but let's do something creative with that, and then advertise that to the people that are on plant-based diets. These things are important to remember. Your advertising and your marketing efforts should go hand in hand. And then in this case, once you come to the website, if you're coming to the website, that will go hand in hand with your marketing or your advertising efforts. And another thing too, another bonus I want to give you is with your website. So if this were an actual website, if you clicked on one of the videos off of social media, it would take you to the specific page that is specific to the video that you clicked on. And what I mean is, just say you are a vegan and you've seen a vegan video on social media, and just say you clicked on that link and that link took you to a landing page. Well, on that landing page, it's going to be things concerning vegan stuff. So you may have like vegan recipes or other vegan videos, and you're going to have the products on that page. And so basically it may look like this homepage where it has, you know, cooking with Uncle Joe's seasoning. It may have that, but it's specifically vegan related. Like it would be like a salad or, you know, a vegan wrap or something. You have your video, and then maybe you have some other content on there, but then you have the products that go along with whatever it is. Does that make sense? Man, I hope it does. But you have the products that go along on this page. So that would be my additional bonus to Uncle Joe, or to you, if you're trying to create your brand yourself or your brand's identity yourself. Keep those things in mind. Let's separate every customer type and let's create things around that customer type. Let's not do a one size fit all for this. Let's make sure that we are trying to dedicate our content towards whoever we're trying to target. All right. So with that being said, I am Al Smith. I'm so happy that you joined me today and looking at this video, and I hope that it helped. And until the next time, take care. Hey, before you go, be sure to follow the links below and download this book that I helped co-write called How to Jumpstart Your Business to Success. I'm telling you, it is a game changer.